Incessant attacks by yet-to-be-identified gunmen in some local government areas of Plateau State, north-central Nigeria, as well as other affected areas in Nigeria, have continued to elicit more reactions. Recent among them is from a non-governmental organization in Plateau State called the Coalition for a Better and Brighter Nigeria. The group recommends community policing, among others, as one of the major ways out of the situation in which the people in the affected areas have found themselves. Our correspondent, Chizoba Anionwe, tells us more.
Before now, many people did not see the essence of championing the cause for community policing. Now, the need has sufficed, following recurring attacks by seemingly faceless people who kill and maim fellow human beings who have little or no protection against their attackers. This gave rise to this press briefing by the Coalition for a Better and Brighter Nigeria to join their voice in the call for a safer Plateau and the nation at large.
And so the ongoing violence in Plateau State is a distressing reminder of the importance of working towards sustainable peace and security. Government must work to decentralize policing, and that is why we are calling on that this is the time for security sector reform in Nigeria.
The need for security operatives to improve on their deliveries was an aspect the coalition was also troubled about.
While commending the considerable efforts of security stakeholders in the state, I put it to the security and to the defense formations that you are not doing enough. You may say you are doing your best, but it is obviously not good enough. Not good enough. Since it is not able to halt the killing and fish out the perpetrators, I therefore call on all security stakeholders in the state to redouble and accelerate efforts in rolling back this genocide that's being carried out on the plateau.
The fact that victims of these attacks have been forcefully displaced should be a wake-up call for humanitarian agencies.
We call on the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to do their work by swinging into mobilizing and providing relief materials for surviving victims of the attack.
Issa El-Buba, who described the attacks on the plateau as genocide unhindered, added that it is sadder because of the economic impact of the destructions. They say their hearts are with victims of these attacks across the affected areas in Nigeria, with high hopes that peace will return again. Chizoba Anionwe, reporting for News Central.
Many thanks, Chizoba. Such an unfortunate situation. To get some perspective, we're joined by Bulus Dabit. He is the Plateau State Coordinator of the National Orientation Agency. Thank you very much for joining us in Nigeria tonight. Home to peace and tourism, that's what the Plateau is known for. But it seems all that is in the past now. Why has it been difficult for successive governments to find lasting solution to the incessant violence there?
Thank you for allowing me to be on the platform. Incidentally, I'm now retired from the National Orientation Agency, so I speak as a citizen of Plateau State and Nigeria.
Okay.
The attack on the plateau started almost a decade ago. And all efforts to stop the attack has not yielded any result because those who come to attack come from far. It is not as if the people of Plateau or the rural people are having any conflict with the herdsmen on the ground. The attackers are often people who come from far. They are organized and they come in large number and zero on very small communities and attack them. Communities who are not armed, communities who may be sleeping, members who may be sleeping, and they are attacked. And oftentimes after the attack, they run and disappear into the thin air. So it's very difficult to track them and to prevent them, especially given the fact that sometimes these attacks take place in the night. So it's been very difficult to track them and to stop this carnage on the plateau.
So there just seems to be something with Magu, a local government area. It now looks like the epicenter of the killings. What is it about this area that puts it in the middle of these attacks?
It will be very difficult because this it started with kidnap. There were a lot of kidnapping early in the year around the place, and it became the epicenter of kidnapping. And oftentimes, those who were found culpable of this kidnapping were some young herders, and it culminated after the election. It culminated in this attack. The attack was needless because the communities of Mangu, of which I am a member, they've never had reason, to fight because they have many ways of sorting out their problems. But if you have a situation where perhaps some interested party somewhere organize this kind of attack and impose it on the citizens of the state, and if they did, which is normal because the over resources, land resources, and water resources, they are able to find the solution to this problem. And indeed, when this conflict started, the traditional ruler of the local government had convened a stakeholders meeting, and they were already discussing to attack these communities came in their hundreds, and they were armed. And these communities were sometimes sleeping when they would be woken up by gunshots and so on and so forth.
In your time as the head of the National Orientation Agency, what would, from experience, would you suggest as one way to go about getting community leaders to be a little more involved in the process of trying to restore peace to the communities?
Well, when I was director of National Orientation Agency, there was a similar attack in Mangu local government. And that was on the 1st of January 2015. I was able to convene a meeting of the stakeholders, particularly the Mieti Allah State ESCO and the ESCO of the Mobile Development Association. And we met in my office on the first day of January of 2015. We were able to sit down and analyze the situation and discover that there was no need for any fight at all. In my office, they stopped that fight. They called them in the field and stopped the fight and resolved never to fight again. So I'm really surprised that this thing has occurred again, because if you ask the Fulani, they will tell you that they have beautiful times with the natives in Mongol local government. And how this has become another problem is what I don't understand. But I do know that those who come to do this attack are not necessarily the Fulanis on ground. But those on ground may know about those who are coming, but they are not the ones that are doing the attack themselves. There are people who are coming from outside, and we know the routes that they follow, to come into the community, to come and attack them. So
solution is actually within our reach. We look forward to finding a lasting peace in the plateau. Thank you very much, Mr. Dabit, for speaking with us. Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.